This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So item arrival. Okay, fine. What is this? Let me explain you, and then let me show you what it will be. Okay, give me a second. It is loading. So purchase order, then purchase order confirmation, next receipt list, then we can use this arrival process. Then we can do product receipt, registration, then product receipt. So instead of actually the process, what we are learning, what we have learned till now, this is the process. So this registration in single step is this one process. Other than this one, we can use arrival process. Sorry. Instead of simple registration, we can use this arrival journal, arrival process. In this, there are two steps. One is arrival overview, and then arrival journal. So instead of registration, quick registration, single step, we can use two steps process. Okay. So let me show you in the system how it will be. And what is the benefit? We'll understand domain or functional knowledge after that. I will explain you, but let me show you how to do it in the first. Okay, let me create a purchase order. So very few people only will use this process. Very few people. Okay, procurement and sourcing, purchase orders, all purchase orders. I will give you some scenarios like in which industry this may be useful. Roughly, I will give you some explanation also. Let me show first how to do it. Then later we'll discuss on what is the benefit. So I'm creating a new purchase order, normal purchase order. I'm selecting site and warehouse. Click OK. Okay, I'm selecting item. Suppose 10 quantity. Have entered. Okay, next confirmation. I'm doing confirmation. Okay, now once it is confirmed, in the receive tab, receipt list is, it will not do anything, just only for a printout purpose, like that truck is in your premises. To understand the truck is in your premises, you can understand, use this one as a receipt list or a gate pass, a kind of gate pass. So we are generating through this one. There is no financial postings, there is no inventory postings. Okay, this you know, till now this you know. After that, update line registration we can use. Okay, after this we can do update line registration. This is one process. Otherwise, you can use advanced warehouse management, workflow creation, load creation, work creation, completion, product receipt. That is one process. Now the third one is, let me go to duplicate. So these are warehouse management one process. In warehouse management one process, we can use this function registration directly, or you can go to inventory management, inbound orders, arrival overview, arrival overview. Okay, let me take duplicate and let me create, let me verify the item cost, like item status also. I mean to say on hand inventory status. Let me go to product, release product, product information management, product master, release products. Okay, on hand inventory. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, so on hand inventory, it is showing ordered in total 98. So ordered in total 98. If you verify the transactions, the purchase order status is, look at this one, it is 71. So the purchase order status, so it is ordered. Okay, the status is ordered. Now what we are doing, and you can see here in this general tab, line quantity, you can see here also ordered quantity 10, delivery reminder 10, ordered 10. Okay, now we are using select. Okay, start arrival. You can click on start arrival. See, this is the order number. You can use the filter by any warehouse or anything. So we have clicked on start arrival, means it is in your premises. Start arrival. Then automatically, if you verify, refresh, still it is same status. If you verify refresh, the status is purchase order status also the same. There is no change. Okay, there is no change in the order quantity ordered. Now, if you verify now, one journal will be created in the journal entries, item arrival process. Look at this one. One journal is created. Okay, so two-step process as I told you. One is arrival overview, next one is item arrival journal. So now look at this one. Where it is available means it is in inventory management, journals, item arrival. So this is item arrival journal. One journal is created. Understood? This is item arrival journal. Item arrival journal. Of course, menu name, form name changed. See here it was named as item arrival, but inside this is menu name and this is warehouse arrival journal. This is form name or screen name. This should be equal actually. Okay, but the name is different. No problem. Item arrival. Okay, now I can click on post. Click OK. Now it is arrived. It was completed. Operation like arrival process is completed. Now, if you verify what is the status, the purchase order status, it is registered. As I told you, instead of one-step registration, we have used two steps. This understood? Now, if you verify line quantity, refresh, it will be registered. Actually, at the time of arrived, it is not updating arrived. I don't know what is whether it is a bug or not. I don't know, because as I told you, this process is very few people only will be used. Now it is registered. So earlier we are doing registration like by going to this update line and registration. Instead of that process, we did it differently. Now you can do product receipt also from here. Functions, product receipt. From here also we can do. So instead of touching purchase order, we are not touching product purchase order, and we are doing the process. This is another way of receiving the material. We are not touching the purchase order. Purchase order creation, confirmation, and receipt list was updated by purchase department. Now stores department, they are not going to touch anything in the purchase order. They did it like arrival overview, and then item arrival journal, and then product receipt. This can be done by stores department. So as per my knowledge, this may be used for take the example like sugarcane. If it is a sugarcane industry, based on the density, the arrival overview start means the dumping started from the truck, and item arrival overview means in this actually in arrival overview, the stores in charge can plan where I need to dump the sugarcane, raw sugar canes, where we can dump. He can plan properly. He can plan properly in the arrival overview. In the arrival overview, he can plan. And then this is actual registration. It's a kind of registration. Instead of this one, instead of registration single step, you are using this process. Understood? So product receipt means it is updated. Yes, please. Clear now?
Yeah, clear.
Fine. Simple step. Now actually like very few people only using this arrival process. If you want, you can use it simply. Okay, fine. Any more questions? Any more doubts? Not only this one, any topics. Fine. If you are clear, then we can go with master planning. Master planning. Okay, so what is this master planning? Let us understand what is this master planning. So master planning means here the alternative name is MRP. Of course, the other name is material receipt planning or something, whatever it may be, master planning in our dynamics. What is this means? So how many items I need to purchase? Suppose there are 10,000 items in the system. 10,000 items in the system. Then each item I need to give an order, purchase order. So once it is becoming a zero, I should not ask for purchasing the material. So there should be methodology to purchase the material always. Okay. So there should be a planning of a purchase of the material. There should be a planning of the material to purchase. So if you run this master planning, what happens? It will create planned transfer order, otherwise planned production order, next one is planned purchase order. The purchase order is last priority. The first priority is planned transfer order, next one is planned production order, next one is planned purchase order. System will create all these things. So to understand better about these things, first I need to explain you one thing. Let me go back. In master planning, setup, coverage groups. You need to understand coverage groups. The first most important is coverage group. In this coverage group, there are 4 types of coverage groups. Click new. One is period, requirement, min max, manual. Let us understand these 4. Period, requirement, min max, and then manual. These are the 4 types available in the coverage group. So what is this? Let us understand. Then we'll go inside about master planning, how it will be. Okay. Min max means if it is a Wholesale distribution company, majority I will use min-max. Suppose I'm purchasing and selling laptops. I'm purchasing and selling laptops, or I'm purchasing, selling soaps, toothpaste, some grocery items or something. Then suppose take the example Mysore sandal soaps. I'm purchasing and selling Mysore sandal soaps. Just I'm giving an example. Now, once it is becoming zero, if I'm giving an order, purchase order, then it will create problems. By that time, I need to arrange at any point of time to the customer, minimum stock should be maintained. So for soaps, I'm taking example soaps. What I will do, minimum stock I will maintain 100, maximum stock I will maintain 1000. Soaps, I'm taking example soaps, otherwise 500. This is business, depending upon the business, it will be taken care. So once it is reached 100, I mean to say 99 or something, system should create to reach 500, means minimum 500 order we need to create. PO should be created 400 items so that it will fill to 500. So once it is, suppose if you are creating, like if it is once becoming zero, if you are giving an order, suppose there is a customer, he is asking, then I need to tell them like item is not available. So as soon as it is reached to 100, I will give an order for 400, then it will reach to 500 quantity. This is min max. For normal wholesale distribution companies, they will map min max methodology. Next, requirement. Here take the example car engine. Car engine, I will not purchase 100 quantity, 200 quantities. Whenever, how many it is ordered, I am receiving, against that order only I will create an order. Because car engine is a costly item, it is a costly item. Suppose unnecessarily I will not purchase 500 car engines and I will not keep in my warehouse. Suppose car manufacturing company engines, I'm purchasing from some other product, then I will not purchase costly items, the majorly costly items. Whenever it is needed, I will purchase this item. Next, period means it is low cost items. Low cost items. Low cost items means nuts and bolts. So for nuts and bolts, I will not purchase every day like 100, 200 like this. I can purchase for bulk, a period of like 1 year. For 1 year, how many orders I'm going to receive an order, against that one year items I will purchase, because it is very, very low price. If I purchase bulk, I can get lesser price. Understood? This is costly items. This is low cost items. Example, nuts and bolts. This is normal regular item, min max. And if I don't want any MRP to be should not run, then we can select this one. MRP will not be executed. It will be excluded. MRP will be excluded. Understood these things first? Any confusion in these 4 types or 4 methods?
Okay, one question.
Yeah.
Actually, when we will go for this master planning, the basic question, if someone asks, when we will go for this master planning.
So there are 2 areas. If it is a manufacturing process, it is must you need to run this master planning, because against demand means sales order.
Okay.
Against the sales orders, you need to execute this master planning. Master planning means for the demand, system will create these things. So some items I'm producing, some items I'm purchasing. So how many I need to purchase, how many I need to do a production order. I cannot manually, I cannot do planning of the material properly. So system, if you run this process MRP, system will create all these things, proposed orders, planned orders.
Okay.
Suppose plant transfer order means if it is the stock is available in another warehouse, I can take, rather than purchasing, I can bring from the other warehouse to my warehouse. That is first priority is plant transfer order. And if it is I'm going to produce that items, it will create automatically production orders, planned production orders, planned purchase orders. All these things, if you click on firm, it will be confirmed. Means from planned transfer order to transfer order will create, planned production order to production order will create, planned purchase order to purchase order will be created. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if it is wholesale distribution company also can use it. It is not like can be or cannot be. But if it is a manufacturing company, it is must, because if it is a manufacturing company, there will be thousands of items. So released products, in the released product master, if you go release product, you may have thousands of items. So it is very difficult to manage, like how many items I have purchased, how many it is missed. So there should be a delivery tomorrow for 100 cars. In that 100 cars, so costly nuts and bolts for car wheel, nuts and bolts are not available. What you can do? It is a small one, but it is most important, because if the nuts are not there, I cannot dispatch this car. Even small piece items also, it is most important. So the planning will be executed in the MRP, so that it will create automatically. System will take care about all these things.
So this is basically related to a manufacturing, right? The module wise.
Yes, manufacturing, for manufacturing, this is must, it is mandatory. For wholesale distribution company, if you want, you can use it, so that if it is a wholesale distribution company, it is only 100 items, 200 items, it may not be required. But if it is, even though if you want to run, yes, you can execute this one by mapping this min max or whatever it may be. For wholesale distribution company also can be used. Can be used.
So being a manufacturing company, I'm just planning. So there should be
Yes.
a plan. So based
Yes.
on the, I'm following these steps, right? I mean, based on the demand.
Yes, exactly.
I have to fulfill my customer demands. So I'm planning just on this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fine. So in this we have period, requirement, min, max, manual. So in this time fence, how many days we need to take? Like if it is a period you are mapping, for how many days order I need to consider. For anything, requirement or period or min, max or manual. Manual it is not, as I told you, it will be excluded. So how many days orders I need to take? Coverage time fence. Coverage time fence means, so these orders we have received, Once it is order is received for manufacturing company, there will be a delivery date. So it may be a 1 month or 1.5 month. So on how many days I need to cover this one? Okay, so there are so many check boxes inside. Okay, to be frankly, I know some extent, but all I don't know. To be frankly, I'm also not very much expertise in master planning. As I told you, like a production consultant, they need to know about these check boxes. If you want to become a production consultant, this is one of the area you need to understand. Okay, so you can understand this one. If you want to become, as I told you, if you want to become a production consultant, it is one of the important area you need to understand. So, okay, yes, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
But so in MB 330 for supply chain management certification, they have included master planning module also, right? So I was just seeing,
I think, yes. Yeah.
yeah, they have included master planning for MB 330 for T&L also.
Yeah. So in this, you may not get many questions, but it was maybe because, as I told you, this is more about together like master for I mean to say for production, it is mandatory, it is must. For wholesale distribution company, you can use as a optional process. Yes, it is in MB 330, it was included. Yeah, it was included. Fine. Once it is created, item coverage group, then you need to tag this one to the item master. You need to tag this one to item master, where we can map it here. Let me go to product information management, released products, released products. So here in this, if you click on any item, let me open this item, any item. I think it is opening 4401. Now in the planning, you have item coverage. In the coverage group, item coverage. So you can map here, click new. Okay, you can map. By default, it is coming coverage group as a requirement. Look at this one. By default, it is coming as requirement, as coverage group as requirement. From where it is coming means in master planning parameters, it was mapped one coverage group. Give me a second. Here, general coverage group, we have mapped REQ. So as I told you, we have created coverage groups. In the coverage groups, we have created auto group, period 1, period 20. All these things we have created. So one is requirement, we have mapped. So there are like 4 to 5 item coverage groups it was created. Now in the parameters, it was mapped coverage group as requirement. So in this item coverage, automatically it will be populated. If you click on new, automatically site wise it was mapped. Now if you want to overwrite, you can click on general tab and you can use here selection, and you can change this requirement to min max, whatever it is there. Okay, give me a second. Which one is the min max? I don't know. Let me verify. In the coverage groups, so the first one is auto is min max. So I will use, suppose I want to map auto as replenishment. I have mapped. So now look at this one, minimum and maximum it was allowed. We can enter minimum and maximum quantity. Minimum and maximum. Okay, so in this order type, it is automatically mapped production order. But you can select here, you can select the priority, whether it is a transfer order, whether it is a production order or purchase order. So as I told you yesterday, day before yesterday, I have shown you, one is there are two options in the default order settings. We have options. If you remember, where it is a production order or purchase order. Okay, this one it was mapped by default for 0. It was where it is a production order or purchase order. Okay, means the item whether you are producing or you are purchasing. Fine. Here also you can overwrite in the coverage group. In the coverage group, item coverage group. Okay, you can map whether you want production order or purchase order. Production or purchase. Okay, suppose if this is based on the warehouse, you can select warehouse also. If this warehouse is not a main warehouse, it is sub warehouse, your material is receiving from your main warehouse, then suppose take the example, this one is raw material, suppose 13 is the main warehouse, and 11 warehouse is a sub warehouse. Then you can, let me map this also because this color is mandatory. Then you can map like this and you can click here transfer order. Understood? If it is a small warehouse in your warehouse, main warehouse should be specified from 13. From 13 to 11 warehouse will be created. Understood? Here you can overwrite whatever the coverage group you want. Whatever the coverage group you want, you can map it. And then here you are mapping for 11 warehouse. I am mapping transfer orders to this one. And next, once it is mapped like this, you can click on net requirement. In this, you can click on net requirement. This is mini master planning. Item wise, you are executing. Each item wise, you can execute like this. Otherwise, I will show you one more. So you can click on update. You can click on update all and update master planning. Okay, otherwise this is for specific item. For specific item, what you are doing, you are mapping coverage group, default order settings, you are mapping all these things, and then you are clicking on net requirement. It will execute for specific item. Okay, otherwise you have directly, you can run master planning from here. Master planning, actions, 1 second, run master planning. You can select the plan and you can click on OK. So if you want filters, you can execute the filters. Means specific item or specific item group filters you can apply, you can execute. So once it is executed, what happens? If you go to planned orders, it will show you orders. It will show here. It will show orders. Now what you have to do, once it is created, look at this one, planned purchase orders, planned transfer order, planned production orders, all it will create. Then you need to click on select this whatever it is there and click on form. Then what happens, automatically purchase order will be created. If you click on this one, form, purchase order will be created automatically. Okay, so while doing this one, system will verify whether it is default vendor is available or not. One minute, let me verify the vendor account. Where it is. It is planned order, purchase order only, production order. Sorry, by mistake I have taken production order. This will create production order without anything. This is a planned production order. For planned production order, vendor account is not mandatory because you are producing. Let me open a planned purchase order. Give me a second. So this is planned production order. Let me select planned purchase order. This is planned production order. I'm selecting planned purchase order. Okay, here you can select the vendor account inside. This is planned purchase order. Give me a second. Vendor account, where it is available. So vendor group, it is mapped. Okay, I'm clicking on form. Then one purchase order will be created automatically against the vendor group. Against this vendor group, it will create one purchase order directly. So you can click on firm all, means it will execute for all quantity. Otherwise you can select firm one by one. Okay. Now this is 4101. Let me refresh. Let me do for this one 4097. I think it was created. Let me show you the production orders, purchase orders. Give me a minute. Let me take duplicate. This is anyhow inventory transactions. Huh? Purchase orders, all purchase orders. So a open order purchase order is created. Because that is oldest date, that is the reason it is coming as delivery date as 2017. This is the new item, it was created. So if you click on firm, automatically planned purchase order to purchase order will be created. So you can run this process directly for all items from here, master planning. Otherwise, from the release item, you can map default order settings, one thing, and then item coverage group, and then you can run this net requirement. From here we can, okay. So in this master planning, there are two areas, major two areas it is there. If you look at this one is forecasting. So you can create, instead of demand, you can create demand forecast manually. Item forecast. Means in next 6 months, what is the forecast I can write? Demand forecast and supply forecast. This is actually like planning people, they can plan like in next 6 months or next 3 months, what could be the sales it happens. Okay, this product is majorly developed for against sales order, but not this one. This is the major configuration. It was master planning in Dynamics is configured against original demand, but not this one. But you can create like demand forecast lines. That is also available. Means you are predicting what could be the sales in future for 6 months, for item wise, for customer wise. You can write like this. This is demand forecasting. You can write demand forecasting for sales quantity this next month or next 6 months, what it is. Okay, one is master planning, means here you can execute for actual sales orders. That is one process. Next one is demand forecasting. Against demand forecasting. Okay, these are the two options. So you can run this master planning. Whenever you are executing master planning, I will show you here. So one is coverage group. As I told you, item coverage group is most important. Next one is the plans. Here master plans. One is master plans, one is forecast plans. This is master plan, means against actual quantity. Next one is forecast plans. This is forecast plan. Okay, and then in this master plans, there will be two different plans. So as per the Microsoft, one plan is enough, but if you want, you can have, there will be two plans. One is static plan, one is dynamic plan. So dynamic plan means it is short-term plan. Means the changes every day, whatever it is executing, we need to execute. And a static plan means long-term plan means 1 week. Weekly once I will execute. Weekly once it is executed, or bi-weekly it will be executed. And dynamic plan is like every day we will execute. Means suppose sales orders, purchase orders will be keep on changing. Means every day, suppose customer called like, no, first I want 100 quantity. Later he told like, no, it is not 100, I want 50 quantity. So whatever the changes it is there, for those changes it should be executed immediately. That is dynamic plan. And this is static plan means long-term plan, like you can execute for all the quantities once again. But as per the Microsoft, it is telling like one plan is enough, no need to create multiple plans. Okay, this one dynamic plan, one static plan you need to define. Okay, so in this there are job scheduling, operation scheduling. So this is in terms of manufacturing a lot inside. Okay, so there are so many terms related to master like production information, because as I told you, production process for production consultant, it is mandatory. It is mandatory, you need to learn. Okay, so you can create plans and you can execute. And in these parameters, master planning parameters, here you can map. One is static plan and one is dynamic plan and forecast plan. Static plan, dynamic plan and forecast plan. Forecast plan means you are not considering the original sales orders, you are creating your own demand. So these three plans you need to create and you need to map. Okay, it is calendar, production calendar, you need to map it. So coverage group. So one is plans, three plans I have shown you just now. One is forecast plan, the static plan and dynamic plan. Next one is coverage group. As I told you, like coverage group, how it will be. And then the calendar is production calendar, you need to map. So majority in this 70-80% functions are linked to production a lot. Okay, fine. So once it is mapped, so simplest way if you want to learn for master planning, simple plan, then you can create default order settings. One is default order settings, next one is coverage group, and you can run this net requirement with item wise. Or you can create this master planning. As I told you, you can create plans properly. Setup plans. One is coverage group. Next one is plans. You need to create master plans. Okay, include on-hand inventory should be selected. So include inventory transactions. So one by one you can select. So static plan will be used. We can use directly static plan also. So one is operation scheduling, job scheduling. It is production process, finite capacity, infinite capacity, production process. All these things are related to production. So here include supply forecast and demand forecast. This is forecastings, whether you want to include this forecast or not. Means manually you have defined those forecasts should be considered or not. In this dynamic plan, we are not considering all those things. In this long-term plan, we are including all these things. Okay, there are many things. So I will try to explain you as much as possible. Whatever I know, I will try to explain you tomorrow in detail once again about all these things. As I told you, I'm not complete expertise in this master planning. I know some extent. Okay, whatever it is there, I will recap once again tomorrow. Till now, any doubts about this master planning? We'll continue tomorrow also. So the high level inputs, whatever it is there, I will try to explain you. But as I told you, majority part is production. So that is the reason I'm not very much expertise in each and everything in the master planning. So high level, you can map it and you can use it. Slowly I'm learning, to be frankly, I'm concentrating on this also because I too want to learn production process. So I'm focusing on this production process recently, but earlier I don't have much experience. So I know only item coverage group and then net requirement I used. Fine. Anything else? So here item coverage group, default order settings we understood, and running this item requirement, and then forecast, inventory forecast, demand forecast, and supply forecast. So this is related to master planning. But master planning, as I told you, like there are many things related to production process also. Fine. Tomorrow I will also will continue. Tomorrow also session will be there. I will recap once again this master planning, what it is, high level inputs, and will continue. If it is any doubts, you can ask me tomorrow as well. Okay, fine. Any quick questions? If nothing, then we can wind up for today. We'll connect once again tomorrow morning, same 6 a.m. IST. And tomorrow will be the last session. If you have doubts, we'll continue Thursday also. No issues. Okay, see you all. Bye.